Is this the seven, what was it? M7, yeah, that's right. MV7. Good. Check one, check. John Marc Burge. Man, so I've been playing music full time for only about 2 years. I had quit for about 7 years and then got back into it about 4 years ago. Kind of slowly worked my way back into it. Like, so it's kind of part time at first. And then a couple of years ago, I quit my job and it's like, that's all I want to do, you know. I was starting to get more and more bookings and more success and started writing again. Yeah, I decided to do it full time. One is I was starting to believe that I could, you know, because again, like I definitely waited until like I felt like it was doable. You know what I mean? Like in the sense that like I was booking enough where I was like, all right, now if I have that extra free time, I can easily fill that up with more bookings. You know what I mean? And I did. And so I went from playing 75 shows part-time to over 150 last year full-time and then over 200 this year, you know, just working hard and booking and networking and all of that. And so like it just took the belief for me. Like it took like seeing people respond to what I was doing and having people reaching out and wanting to book me. And I was like, yeah, I really think I can do this. And the money was there. I was like, man. So I started doing the math. I was like, I might make a little less money at first, and I have, you know. But I was like, man, I can see how these numbers will work. Where I can, if I work hard enough, I'm going to replace that income. I kind of adjusted my lifestyle a little bit, but but the freedom to like wake up every day and all I do is what I want to do, man. That's all I do. And really, dude, I'm making really good money compared to what I was making. Like not quite there yet, but I'm doing it working a quarter of the time. You know what I mean? And so yeah, man, the freedom is worth that extra money. I'm from South Mississippi. I'm from Poplarville. Yeah. Do you know where that is? Okay, right on. I got you. Were you at Pearl River or were you just? Yeah, that's where I live, man. That's kind of the big thing. Is I felt like if I wanted to do music, this is back in the day. Like I felt like if I wanted to do music, I had to get out of Poplarville. I had to get out of Mississippi and go into like a bigger city. And so I went to Baton Rouge for a while. Then I went to Austin, Texas, which is a dream city for playing live music. I mean, it's one of the best cities in the country for live music, but never got anything going, man. One, because it's just really saturated, and two, I didn't know how to work hard in music yet. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what to do. That's right before I ended up quitting. I just got discouraged, and then life kind of happened, and so I just kind of put it all to the side. I didn't write any more music. I didn't gig. I didn't do anything, man. I hardly even played my instrument. The irony of all of that is life brought me back to Poplarville. And then from that little small town and then the Gulf Coast, I finally actually started playing music full time and doing what I wanted to do. Like, so it honestly took coming back home, like, to start living the dream. Journey's been wild. It's been weird. Now I believe that I can live the rest of my life in my hometown, little old Poplarville, 2,000 people, whatever, 2,500 people, and do this for the rest of my life and do it well. And I was miserable for that 7 years. I tried to convince myself that I didn't care. I didn't need music, that I didn't want to play music. I was fine. And so honestly, it's nobody's fault but my own. But like I got married, I had stepdaughters. So I felt like I had to have like a real, you know, like steady income, like kind of career kind of deal. And then there's just some things that like happened throughout that marriage and whatnot that made playing music very, very difficult. So I just completely lost my motivation. I lost my inspiration. I lost my drive, my passion. And I grew up in the church. I got my start playing music in the church. I was a worship leader for all these years. So during that 7 years, I was still doing some church-related music. But as far as an artist, like as far as original stuff and even getting out and playing gigs and stuff, I wasn't doing any of that. And I thought I never would again. And honestly, when I came back home after my wife and I split up, I came back home and I had no desire or no plans to get back into music then. Like honestly, what got the ball rolling is there's a big festival that happens every year in Poplarville called the Blueberry Jubilee. Very large event, and they try to get a lot of local artists to play. And so I had just moved back that spring, and then the Blueberry Jubilee was that June. And so because people knew me, they were like, hey, would you mind coming and playing a set? I was like, yeah, that's fine, I'll do that. That was the first time I had played like a real gig in 7 years. So I got out there and did that and ended up meeting a guy who became a really good friend of mine who was playing right after me that day, named Eric Sharp. He's out of Picayune. Really, really good country songwriter and singer. He liked my sound, I liked his sound, and we kind of connected. He was very established in the Gulf Coast music scene and gigging full time. He was like, hey, why don't you come out? Why don't you start coming out to some of our gigs? We'll put you on the mic for 4 or 5 songs while we take a break. Then we'll introduce you to all these venue managers and owners and bookers. And so for the first year and a half, 2 years that I did this, probably 90% of what I booked came directly from my relationship with Eric. He's just one of those dudes, man. Like he's all about the community of musicians, and I, that's rubbed off on me. So I like to put people on when I can, and help and kind of pick people up and work with as many musicians as I can in the Gulf Coast. That 7 years was kind of hell,
Anyway, thank y'all so much. That's an original song you just heard. It's coming out later this year. Love for you guys to follow me, scan that code, pull up all my social links, connect with me there.